Welcome, my friends. Welcome, especially friends of contemporary art prints, maybe contemporary art prints with a Japanese touch. I'm Dieter Manschura, and I'm the owner of a little family company located in Germany, in southern Germany, and we sold art prints, mainly Japanese prints, since 2001 in weekly online auctions. And recently we show you more and more art prints by contemporary artists who work with us directly, who consign their prints directly to us, and not only Japanese printmakers, but printmakers from all over the world. Recently, quite a few from the UK, Great Britain, United Kingdom, from the US, and also from Europe, the Netherlands. And in the current auction, we offer you quite a few of these, I call them direct artists. A few we know for as long as 20 years. They are the oldest but goodies, and a few are represented in our auctions, in the current auction, for the first time. Okay, this is the auction 1708, and I think it's called Japanese prints and modern art prints or something like that. And now, well, imagine, these artists who are for the first time represented in our auctions. Well, how does this contact work? I mean, these are not just hobby printmakers. They are leading artists, professional artists, top printmakers, and I've approached all these. They've asked them, hey, wouldn't you like to work with us, consigning directly to us? And you can imagine, when we offer them for the first time, I'm a little bit excited. Will they sell or not? Of course, my job is selling, and if I approach an artist, well-renowned, and then I cannot sell his prints, that's embarrassing for me. So a little bit excited. And therefore I want to promote now all direct artists from the current auction 1708 in a quick walk through. Okay, let's start with the first one. Jane Daniel, new artist for the first time. And she makes aqua tints. Awesome, yeah. She shows a kind of fantasy world. Well, what she draws comes all out of her imagination. And it reminded me, as a German, Bavarian German, a little bit of Alice in Wonderland. So I think I invented an header for her article, Jane in Wonderland. And this is one of them. And by the way, Jane's prints are too cheap. When you buy a print by Jane Daniel, it's nearly a steal. Remember that. But they won't last for long. Well, another beauty, a bear. The combination, the very combination is so fantastic. A flamingo and a boy quietly reading a book. Flamingo, bear, and a boy in peaceful cooperation. And the third one, the Thieving Magpie. This is after an opera. And here, look, this fantastic world after an opera from, I think, Rossini or Puccini. And there, look, these old castles. Reminds me of my old school books that I had to learn English. Oh, that was many, many decades ago. And this is Eric Phenomen. Eric Phenomen is a mokuhanga printmaker. Mokuhanga means he works in woodblock printmaking technique, even in the technique of reduction woodblock prints. And he's completely specialized in birds, and he's from the Netherlands. He's not from Japan. When you see his prints, touch of Japanese, definitely. And he also was in Japan for an exchange or something like a residency, whatever that is called. And there he learned the technique of this old Japanese sumi ink painting, which he uses for his sketches. Okay, that's the second one. Beautiful. Okay, and the third print by Eric van Ormen in our current auction. So next, Laura Boswell. Laura Boswell, a leading UK printmaker. She's well connected. Everybody knows her. Her prints are in the National Library of Wales in the House of Lords. She also wrote a book about Japanese woodblock printmaking. Yeah, she learned that in Japan. And another book is in preparation for lino cuts. Laura Boswell, she works in lino cuts and in woodblock, Japanese woodblock printmaking technique. This is a lino cut. There's one thing you should know. The specifics she learned from Japanese woodblock printmaking, she transferred that into the lino cut technique, which wasn't the case before, and only very few are capable of doing that at all. And this is now a woodblock print, a triptych, and it shows a garden scene from Kyoto. You see, UK printmaker, but Japanese touch. Try to find that anywhere else, my friends. And this is now by Alexandra Buckle. Alexandra Buckle, also a UK printmaker, and she works in lino cuts, also on a very high level. And also, she was in Japan. Well, this is a view from the UK, snowy riverbanks. And the next one, this is not the famous large torii at Miyajima, although it looks like it. Even we made that mistake at the beginning. And then Alexander told us, no, hey, when I was there, the original large torii at Miyajima, well, he was under renovation. This is a torii a few hundred meters away, but also here at the inland sea. And fantastic. Well, when you look from it from far away, it nearly looks like a photograph, but it's a lino cut, and all handmade, my friends. Also by Alexander Buckle, I'm not good in botanicals, woodland lilies. Alexander Buckle, she lives in the countryside. All these artists, they like nature. And now this is a jump to the USA. Liniter Shimizu. She had learned printmaking in Japan, I think during 4 or 5 years, where she, by the way, got to know her husband. And then they married, went to the US, and she lives in the US today, likes nature. And her teachers, one was Tokoriki Tomikichiru, and the other was the painter and printmaker Funasaka, Yoshisuke Funasaka. And you see this influence, especially in my view by Yoshisuke Funasaka, because he works completely abstract. And what's important then, this is this balance of a design of shapes and colors, and that is just right. Yeah, this is fantastic. It's called Form, a memory to her childhood when she spent the weekends at her grandpa's and her grandma's farm. This joy in the mountains. She works, we can say, semi-abstract, yeah? And all woodcuts, all handmade, of course. This is by a young emerging artist. He does not consign the first one. I think it's the third or fourth auction where he takes place. And He has only a small portfolio because he's still so young, and he makes reduction woodblock prints, but fantastic. And well, when we offered him for the first time, the results were fantastic. The original reserve, the minimum bid, I think the print went out for 3 times the minimum bid. And he makes very small editions. A fantastic emerging artist, and his prints currently are still cheap, but I think it will come out big. His next one, okay, I have to speed up a little bit, but just enjoy these wonderful images. And Cameron Bailey, he comments his own prints. Read the descriptions in our catalogs. Wonderful. He's a wonderful young man. Next one, and that is from a series, 4 Seasons, Beauties from 4 Seasons, and that actually shows his beautiful wife, Amanda. I mean, look, this is a woodblock. Yeah, look at the high technical level of this young artist. Oh, I have to speed up. Steve Mcmillan, he works in aquatint, and his prints are so good. They are handmade, but they look like photographs. They are not. You can read on his website or also in an article on our website about his technique. He works so basically 1 month on 1 print, and currently we have 3 prints offered by him. They all have bids. Yeah, this is a little bit not well recognizable, but it's beautiful, long and skinny. And he likes nature. He makes hiking tours of 1 week in the national parks of the US, especially California and Washington. He lives in a small town in the state of Washington. And this is one of my favorite ones. They all already have bids in the current auction. Well, his prints actually sell like hot potatoes. Nevertheless, I'm always happy, and the artist is always happy when he gets counter bids. This is now an oldie but goodie, Osamu Sugiyama, woodblock prints, specialized completely in mountain prints, and he shows the views from his own experience because he's a passionate hiker, has been all over the world, especially the Himalayas and Nepal, but of course also the Japanese mountains. And this guy, well, now he has my age, but he made crazy adventures in the mountains, which I would never have done. I'm a hiker myself, but, well, I admire this man, both as a mountaineer and a hiker and a printmaker. Oldie but goodie, we know him for at least 15 years. This is another one. This could be Switzerland, also Bavaria, yeah. And this is now by Yuji Haratsuka. Yuji Haratsuka works in etching in Shin-Kolei. He's professor for printmaking at the University of Oregon in Portland, and he has 2 auctions in our, he has 2 prints in our current auction. Well, his prints are rather sophisticated, a little bit difficult to explain. I like them. I always say they are for rather intellectual and for, intellectual people. This is by Hidey Akikato. It's a little bit displayed too small. Also, Hidey Akikato is an oldie but goodie, and he makes silk screens that he learned from his father, Yuichiro Kato. He lives in Kyoto, and he makes these wonderful views, Japanese views. And this is by Ryuza Okamoto. Ryuza Okamoto, a friend of Osamu Sugiyama, and also Ryuza Okamoto, well, we've known him for, 15, 18 years, at least 15 years. Every now and then he makes a sabbatical from our auctions, and he was a student of Toshi Yoshida and has an incredible technical level. One of the few printmakers worldwide, also of the printmakers in Japan, who work in woodblock printmaking technique with a very, very high level. The problem for these printmakers, my friends, is the following. It's very difficult to make a living like that, yeah? Because it's so time and effort intensive. Ryuza Okamoto cannot make more than a maximum of 8-10 prints per year. Yeah, you must imagine he has to create a separate block for each of these colors, and then has put everything together. My God, when I was 18 years old, I wanted to become an artist. Good that I studied business administration and became an IT professional, and after my retirement, living my passion for art as an art dealer, owner of a little art auction company, and not trying to become an artist. I would have failed completely. Well, another one by Ryuza Okamoto, and I think we have a third one. Yeah, beautiful. This shows one of these Moga girls, in my view. It's from his series First Love, showing young girls. The next one. And now Paul Binney. Paul Binney. We've known Paul Binney when we began with our online art auctions. At that time, few people knew him in Europe. He had been in Japan for roughly 5 years, where he learned woodblock printmaking the Japanese way. And also Paul Binney, I took a sabbatical from artelino art auctions for a few years, and currently he consigns directly to us, and we can offer you woodblock prints by Paul Binney. Now, one of the most renowned, worldwide famous printmakers. His artworks are now in the Metropolitan Museum of Arts, in the British Museum, and I think also in the Museum of Modern Arts in New York. There was recently an exhibition of Japanese prints, and his were shown as an example for contemporary Japanese printmaking. Okay, this is one of his older designs, Himeji Castle, and now the last one, Twilight, a nude print. Well, lovely. This was the last one of those prints consigned to us directly by artists, where we want to cooperate with artists for many, many years. And we would be pleased for each print that we get on these prints, especially for those artists, especially from the UK, who are for the first time in this auction. The auction will end tomorrow. Tomorrow is November 28. We are in the year 2021. Please give a warm welcome to our, I call them direct artists, and warm welcome, please. Bid on them. Yeah, this is what counts. And you get wonderful prints for your bucks. Well, enough for today. Thanks for watching, and take a look at the auction catalog, and I hope to see you for our next video next week again. Goodbye, and take care of yourself, my friend.